Hey, Express Offer Certified Agents. I'm Terri Jeffries.
And I'm Julie Rasmussen, and we are here today to talk to you about compensation. We've been getting a lot of questions on it lately, so I wanted to have a little discussion with Terri that you guys could watch so that we can talk about how the Express Offers compensation works. So Terri,
Yeah.
why don't you explain, because we do have an article about this, and we'll add this video to that article, but why don't you tell us in general, how does compensation work and who pays me, the agent?
Okay. Well, you guys probably heard me say it 1,000 times in the training. You're going to see it in the article. I'm beating this drum all the time, but the iBuyers do not pay us. Okay. The
Okay.
iBuyers do not pay us. The iBuyers, let's cover that part first. Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Let's
because
talk about what
it
the
sounds kind of
iBuyers do.
wrong to me as an agent. It seems weird. Why do we have an iBuyer platform if they're not going to pay me?
Right. The iBuyers, any institutional investor that you submit a property to in our Express Offers platform pays a platform fee per closed transaction. Okay. And
Got it.
currently, for most of our buyers, it is $2,400 per closed transaction. So if they actually make an offer, you, as the transactional agent, get it put together, you go to a closing, the iBuyer is going to pay that $2,400 for that transaction.
And when do
Six,
they pay that fee, Terri?
they have to pay it at the closing table. So it has
And
to be on
so
the master settlement statement.
okay.
Has to be on the master settlement statement, and they pay it at close.
And
So,
so how does that work though? How do they know to pay that?
well, because we're going to send them an invoice. Okay.
Terri actually does that.
So, yeah, I actually do that. So, we're going to send the institutional investor or the iBuyer, right? One and the same. We're going to send that iBuyer an invoice prior to the close. The iBuyer is going to send it to the title company and make sure that that invoice is satisfied on the master settlement statement and paid at close. Okay.
Okay, so then when do I, as an agent, get the money from the closing?
Okay, let's stick with the iBuyer.
Okay.
One more point. I
One
want
more
to make
step.
sure
Okay.
that one more step that I want to make sure that they understand.
Okay.
So, Julie, you're my transactional agent. Okay, you submitted the property to the platform. You got the deal put together. You're a dual agent because your state allows it. Okay,
Okay.
you're getting, you're on your way to the closing. The iBuyer has gotten the invoice, and the invoice is going to be paid on the master settlement statement. What the agent, the transactional agent, you are going to see on your DA is that that $2,400 is going to be on your DA. Okay, it
Okay.
doesn't have anything to do with you, but it's
So
going
you're
to be
saying
on.
I better check that DA before I go to the closing if I want to be paid properly.
Correctly. If we
Okay.
want to make sure everybody's getting paid, right?
Right.
So that $2,400 is going to show up on your DA. Okay,
Okay.
it's going to be added to your commission. So let's say you're making $5,000 in this deal,
Okay.
just for easy numbers. Okay,
Yep.
you're making 5,000. Who's paying you that 5,000?
The seller.
And we're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But as far as the iBuyer goes,
Yep.
they're paying $2,400. So there's
I'm
one
getting
check.
5,000 from the seller. So how much does that equal?
There's one check coming from the title company, and
Okay.
that's going to total $7,400, and it's going to EXP.
So I better check that as an agent. When I
You
receive
better
that
check
email
that.
3 days before closing or whatever it is, a week before, I better make sure that there's my 5,000 plus the $2,400 total of $7,400 on the DA.
Yep. And there's one more thing. One
Okay.
more thing you got to pay attention to. That $2,400 is divided 2/3 to eXp Realty, 1/3 to the referring agent. You're going to see a referring agent on your DA that you've never seen before, a
Yep.
name you don't recognize. You're going to be like, what the hell? Who's this
Who's this?
person on my DA and who is this? There is a referring agent. So if
Yep.
someone, an eXp agent, introduces an iBuyer to our platform, they get 1/3 of that platform fee. So
Yep.
what you're going to see on your DA, you're going to say, Julie Rasmussen, $5,000. You're going to see eXp Realty, $1,600. You're going to say,
Very,
Joe
very different.
Smith,
Yeah.
yeah, who is the
Somebody.
referring agent, $800.
Okay.
Okay. So you just have to understand what that looks like when you see the DA. It's going to look kind of funky. You're going to be thrown off and go, what? Wait, I don't know anybody a referral fee.
Yeah.
You're not paying anybody a referral
Yeah.
fee.
The
Okay.
seller
The
is paying
iBuyer's
for
paying
it.
the platform fee.
Got it. So now
Okay.
talk to us about the seller paying the commission.
Okay. How far back should I go?
Well, I would say just in general, it's really, really important that everyone understands that the seller is actually paying you as the transaction agent for your commission.
That's right. So I
And
guess I'm
so,
going to start.
you know what else is important with that, Terry, is
Yeah.
so as the transaction agent, we'll just stick with me being the transaction agent,
Yep.
how much commission can I, what percentage commission can I charge the seller?
That's a great question. So I'm going to go back a little bit in the
Okay.
process. Okay. The full color 9-page brochure, which is called Express Offers Question and Answers.
Yes.
Okay. Where do you find that, Julie?
In the Express Offers platform, you log in with your EXP Passport login credentials, and then on the left-hand side menu, you're going to see downloads. And in the downloads, you're going to have two parts that you need to actually give to the seller. The marketing brochure, which is the pretty thing that they can actually understand.
The
And then there's the
9-page
acknowledgement.
Express Offers Question and Answer brochure.
Exactly. That's the pretty thing. And that,
Yep.
everyone can kind of digest that. Marketing made that for us a long time ago. And then
Right.
there's the acknowledgement that's like just text, very ugly. And that's what you're going to send as the transaction agent. You're going to send that to the seller to have it digitally signed, right?
That's right. That's right. Perfect. So back to the pretty one, the full
Yep.
color Express Offers Question and Answer brochure. Okay, it's
Mhm.
9 pages. Are the consumers going to read 9 pages? Not
Probably not.
likely. You're obligated to give it to them anyway. And by the way, you better know what it says.
Yeah.
Okay, you
And
are the
where's the cliff
professional.
note?
The
There's
cliff
cliff note.
notes are in paragraph 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, if you read and understand and can basically regurgitate paragraph 3, you're
Yeah.
going to
And
need,
point it out like all professional by pointing it out if you print it or
that's right.
whatever.
That's
Yeah,
right.
or
You're
if
going to
you sit on
know.
the phone with them, it's fine, as long as you say, "Let's go down to page whatever it is that has paragraph 3."
Paragraph 3. And as long as you can explain paragraph 3, you're going to look competent using the
Yep,
Express Offers platform. Okay.
exactly,
So
and you're gonna be confident because we told you where to find it.
that's right. In the disclosure, in that pretty document, it specifically says that EXP agents will only charge the seller the listing side of the commission if they accept an express offer. Okay?
So
So
what does that mean?
I'm going to talk about 2 different roads you can go down here. And this
Okay,
is going to clear up a lot of confusion for you guys.
all
Okay?
right,
And we're going to get back to why it's only the listing side in a few minutes, but I want to take them down these roads.
okay,
Okay. So, guys, you have 2 roads to go down when you're meeting with a seller. Okay. Let's say the seller only wants an express offer. That's all they
mhm.
want. They only want to know
It could
if
be
they
a
can
for
get it.
sale by owner, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
They just want that cash offer. They don't need your selling whatever, right?
They don't want anything else but to see what that
I
cash offer
contacted
is.
you for the cash offer. Yep,
That's right. So, if that's the case, you use a normal typical listing agreement that you would use for any other property. Okay, it's not unique to express offers. It's nothing different. You're going to use a listing agreement. Okay,
from my state,
from your state. We can't tell you
my
which
state
one
form.
because we don't have licenses in all 50 states.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're not confident when it comes to outside of our own state. So I'm only in Colorado and Terry's only in Illinois. So maybe we could give you some advice there, but the other states, we just don't know.
no, no. So we're using there's only one agreement in this entire process that is not what you normally use. And what
Right.
is that, Julie?
The disclosure to seller document.
Yeah, the disclosure to seller acknowledgement. That's the
Yes,
ugly one that the
the
sellers
ugly
have to
one.
sign.
Yep.
Okay,
And that needs to be in your SkyScope file. So make sure you get it signed when you're there.
that's right. So you go out to your listing appointment, you talk about express offers, giving paragraph 3 kind of as your cliff notes, right?
Yep.
You get them to sign the acknowledgement so that they know what they're agreeing to. You get your listing agreement signed, your
From
compensation agreement,
your state forms.
your state forms. Keep in mind, you guys, when I say compensation agreement and listing agreement, it's the same thing. Okay.
Yes. It's how do
Now,
we get paid? How do I get paid?
you're going to get paid because you're going to get the seller to sign a listing agreement agreeing to pay you 3%. I'm assuming you charge a full 6, right, Julie?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. And we can talk about commissions because we're in the same company. We're not doing any price fixing. We can talk about that. So, Julie,
Right.
if your business model is you charge 6%, 3% for the listing side, 3% for the co-op, that means this listing agreement you're going to fill out specifically for express offers. So you're going to write in this agreement is for maybe it's for 5 days or 6 days or 10 days, but it's only to solicit a cash offer.
Right.
Okay. And you're going to fill in the listing side of the commission in that form for 3%
Only.
only. You're going to put a big goose egg in the compensation side. I mean, if some listing agreements have two sides, right?
Yeah.
They want you to split it out.
Mhm.
3% to the listing side, 0 to the co-op side. That's it. Every other term in there is the same. Now, I'm also going to tell you, you need to check your MLS rules, okay? Because sometimes once you sign a listing agreement, your MLS is going to require you to put it in the MLS within 24 hours. I'm also going to tell you that we do not fall under the newly revised Code of Ethics, Rule 8, that talks about
That's
uh,
the NAR Rule 8, right?
oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought.
Well,
Yeah,
you wanted to say that we don't, it doesn't affect Express Offers program, the
right.
NAR Rule 8.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it Rule 8
geez.
or is that what it's
It is
called?
Rule 8, and I just forgot the co-op, not
It's
co-op
about pocket
compensation.
listings.
It's about pocket listings. You guys
Yeah,
will all know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Anyway, this doesn't apply to us.
okay,
Okay. So it's a moot point anyway.
yeah. But just so that people know that, it's good to know.
Yeah. So you get your acknowledgement signed.
Yep.
You get your listing agreement signed for 3%.
Mhm. 'Cause I
You
wanna get
get,
paid.
that's right, you want to get paid. You get your property condition report. You get your photos. You run back to your office with your hair on fire.
Yeah,
You are going to do the property submission.
yep.
You got to put it in SkySlope first.
Because I need a SkySlope unique record email address that I can only get when I go into SkySlope, which
Right.
we have made a video about. So Terri goes into detail and actually does it, like
Yeah.
literally in SkySlope, and shows you how to do it. So that's there's a link to that video in two places in our checklist about submitting a property, and then it's also in its own article about how do I find the SkySlope record
Yep.
email.
Yep. So we give you two different ways to find that. So you get your documents, you use an express offers listing checklist. This is a
Yep.
listing, remember. Okay, it's not a transaction,
While
it's a
you're making
listing.
it in SkySlope, you have to find the listing section and then you'll see the express offers checklist.
That's right. That's right. So you go ahead and create your checklist, you upload those two docs, and now you're off to the platform to do the submission. So
Yep.
let's get back to how we get paid.
Yes.
Okay. So that's one road. You're like
Yep.
scratching your head going, oh my God, that's only one road. Yeah, that's if the seller only wants an express offer.
Like
They
they're
don't want
clear.
they don't want anything else.
Don't mess with them because they've already told you.
Right. Let's go down the other road. Okay. The other road is you have talked about express offers. You have built great rapport with the seller. The seller wants to see if they get a cash offer. You know, they're really kind of, in the conversation you've had with them, they're really kind of leaning towards they're the top dollar people. They really don't need convenience. You know, they don't have anything pressing. Their house isn't a POS, right? All of those
Yeah.
things. So they want to see just for kicks, but they're
Yeah.
probably going to go down the retail road. Okay.
Mhm.
If that's the situation, you're going to want to get a full-blown listing agreement. Okay.
Okay.
So
Where do
we're
I
going to go
find
back.
that?
It's in your state forms, same plain old listing agreement, right?
Okay.
But this time you're going to say, okay, Mr. Seller, I need 2 or 3 or 4 days to go ahead and get you submitted to the express offers platform. If we get an offer and you don't like it, or we may not get an offer at all, and that's okay too. If we don't get an offer, I want to be able to take you down the traditional road.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would get, when I say full boat, I'm saying you're going to get 3% on the listing side because you told me you charge 6, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get 3% on the listing side. We're going to get 3% on the co-op side. We're going to, I don't know, maybe you guys have an exclusion, or maybe you guys have a way to keep it off the MLS for a couple days in your state forms. I don't know. You're going to have to check with your state rules and your MLS. But the bottom line is that all you're going to need to do then is have a listing addendum. And every MLS has a listing addendum. And you go, no, we don't. Yes, you do. You do, I promise. Because if you have to extend the listing date, there's a form for that. If you have to change the price, there's a form for that. Okay. So there's some sort of form where you can modify the original listing agreement. Right? Okay. So I want to make sure that I can take these people down the traditional road. I want a full boat listing agreement. I want to not really have to jump through any hoops if we don't get an offer or they don't like the offer. So by creating this addendum, all I'm saying is, Mr. Seller, you've signed a listing agreement for 6%. If you accept an express offer, eXp Realty and me as your designated agent, I'm only going to charge you 3%. That's what this addendum says. That's what this modification is.
Okay.
You following me?
Yep. And this is so that we don't have to do additional paperwork should they not like the cash offer.
That's right. There's nothing for you to do if they don't like the cash offer, because that addendum should be for a very short amount of time. It's going to expire by itself.
Like in a week or something.
In a week. Yeah. Make it for a week so that it expires all by itself. And by that time, you either know that you're not going to get an offer, or you have gotten an offer and presented it to the seller and they didn't like it. Okay, no problem. Now let's get really cooking. Let's go do our photos. Let's get in the MLS. Let's get your open house scheduled. Let's do all of the things that you normally do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Should I take a listing presentation with me?
Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are trying to be the trusted advisor. And guys, all express offers is an additional option that makes you look like the rockstar professional that you know you are. Okay. The consumers, 10 o'clock at night in their jammies, they're clicking around on their phone. They've seen all kinds of things about cash offers. Matter of fact, last night I was, I don't even know what channel it was, doesn't matter, but commercial for Home Light. Now we're going to have to dig in and see what Home Light is offering, because Home Light's offering cash offers too. So, but they don't do the same thing we do. Okay. Keep in mind, they're like the big 3. They're like Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow Offers. Okay. So, all right, I digress. I'll go down a rabbit hole if you let me.
So anyways, how do we get paid? So maybe we do like a little summary of our program when it comes to money.
Okay.
So let's talk about how actually, you know what's really cool that ties into this, because it helps them sell it when they're there, about the money is when it comes to who benefits in what way. The seller is saving money because
yeah, good point. So if they need convenience, okay, and if you can get them to wrap their brain around the fact that convenience costs money, okay, convenience is not free. If you've got a deadline and you've got to meet it, it's going to cost you money, bottom line, right? And a lot of our iBuyers, because they can close in a short amount of time and in cash, that is a convenience option. So, and I always tell my story about 7-Eleven, right? You walk into a 7-Eleven and buy a loaf of bread. What's it cost you? $5. A lot. Yeah. You go to the grocery store, not so much. Not as convenient, but not as expensive either. Okay. So you have that conversation with the seller. What was the question?
Versus top dollar. And then the seller saves money though, because they only pay the listing commission.
That's right.
But how does the iBuyer save money too? So that's why this benefits everybody. Because you could also explain this to the seller that the iBuyer is actually paying a reduced fee as well.
That's right. That's right. So when we built this program in the very beginning, we did a lot of research, and the research showed us that the average acquisition cost for an institutional investor was about $4,500 per property. Okay, so we cut that in half to $2,400, and so now the iBuyer is saving money in acquisition costs because we're only charging them a $2,400 platform fee. The seller is saving money because, well, a lot of reasons. They don't have to do the repairs. They don't have to stage it. They don't have to clean it. They don't have to pay full boat commission. They're only paying the listing side, so that's
And they get to
saving them.
decide the closing date too, so they can decide how fast they want to get out.
That's exactly right. They can decide when they want to get out,
So
right?
that could save them money if they could get out sooner, for example, by not paying another mortgage payment or whatever.
Right. And so now the agent who's watching us, right? The agent's going, okay, good. Seller saves money. Buyer saves money. What the hell do I get? I'm charging them half of my normal
Exactly.
commission. Well, here's the thing, you guys. Okay. Theoretically, if this works the way that it's supposed to, you win no matter what. Because if you submit the property to express offers, it should take you the time it took to meet with the seller, an hour. It should take the time it took you to put it into SkySlope and the platform, another hour. Okay. You haven't put up any signs. You haven't done any photos. You haven't done any marketing. You've spent goose egg,
Zero.
right?
Exactly. Just some
Zero.
time.
So theoretically, if you get an express offer, you probably will have invested 2 hours. You're going to get 3% commission. And what you get out of this is so much more. We have to get agents thinking or not thinking about living from commission check to commission check. And a lot of people go, oh, yeah, well, that's easier said than done. Look, an express offers transaction, guys, one seller lead should bring you 3 transactions. Okay.
Tell us how.
I will. So the listing itself is going to sell, right? So if you have a cash buyer in your back pocket and you sell that listing to an express offers iBuyer, okay, that's 1. 2 hours invested, 3% commission. Bada bing. Okay. Second is the seller's got to live somewhere, right? Move up, move down, who cares? The seller's got to live somewhere. Okay. Third, if this is one of our buyers who fix and flip and give the listing back, now you're going to get another listing fully rehabbed, top dollar in the marketplace, and you're going to
only 1.5% commission
on the relist.
Yeah.
So if I made if I made 3% on the sale from the seller to the buyer, 3%, buyer rehabs it, gives it back to me, top dollar in the marketplace, beautifully remodeled home. My virtual tour is balls to the wall, beautiful, because it's a beautiful home.
Which makes you look good, by the way.
Which makes me look like a rock star. And so, yeah, I'm only going to charge the iBuyer 1.5% to relist that property. The iBuyer and I are going to talk about what we need to offer for the co-op. In my market, you better be offering 3% as a co-op or you're dead in the water. So it's going to cost the iBuyer 4.5%. I get 1.5 of that. And of course, I can see agents still pulling their hair out right now going, I'm not working for 1.5%. Guys, 3% plus 1.5. Now we're at 4.5%. Now you double ended because you've pre-sold it while the iBuyer was doing the rehab.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, kind of clever, huh? Look, you're going to have a relationship.
That's awesome.
I'm going to pre-sell that puppy all day long. You know why?
And if you had multiple transactions with this iBuyer and you know they always give good quality, then you can always be doing this whole process over and over again.
I am going to tap into my buyers in my database. I'm going to have people drive by it. I'm going to say, you know, coming soon. I'm going to take interior photos before it's actually even listed. I'm going to have that sucker sold before it even hits the MLS. Now, the iBuyer has agreed to give me 1.5 on the listing side, but he's agreed to give 3 on the co-op. I'm going to double end that sucker all day long.
Yeah, so another 3%.
So now, 1 listing lead, and you'll have to do the math, Julie. You know I suck at math.
Well, it was 3.
I've gotten 3. And then I'm getting 1.5 on the listing side. And then I'm getting 3 on the, because I'm going to double end it.
The buyer. Yep, you're going to bring a buyer.
And because before I put it under contract, I'm going to do a public open house, creating another new set of buyer pool for myself, which I'm going to convert and take and sell them something else.
At
so
least
I have
one
the
person.
potential.
Let's say 10 people show up at the open house. You should be able to at least get one person, right?
At least one. So then I'm going to get another 2.5 or 3% on the conversion from the buyer pool that I created. So
Open house.
if
Yep.
you guys get this, what was
Well,
I, what
ten
was
and a
I
half
up to?
percent. That was 10
3,
and a half.
1.5. Let's just say 2.5 for kid. Or no,
Sure.
no, 3, one and a
10%.
half, 3, and another 2.5.
Yep.
7, 8, 9.5, 10%.
It's 10%.
Whatever.
We'll average it at 10.
You guys get it. You do the math. I can't
Yeah.
take my shoes off right now. So point is, if you guys play this right, you build a great relationship with the iBuyer. That's the name of the game. You build a great relationship with that seller. That seller, one lead can make you up to 10% in commission on one seller lead. I got it. Julie and I are beating the drum because we got to get you guys to get this. You have
Yeah.
to understand this is not a one and done program.
I hope
Your
not.
goal is not to go find a house to sell to an iBuyer. That's not
Yeah.
what this is about.
No, it's way more than that. It's the ultimate listing tool. Express Offers is the ultimate listing tool if used properly.
Yeah,
And
and
your
understood.
expectations for yourself are used properly. And by the
Absolutely.
way, all of the buyers so far, even the one we talked to this morning in our Zoom call that anyone can watch, by the way, online with Avid Trader. So even in that one, he said he would much rather have a good relationship with agents who will bring him more and more deals. They all want one agent that gets what they're looking for to do multiple deals for them. And so that's how you make money is you make a good relationship with these
Yeah,
iBuyers, do some prospecting.
yeah.
Once you understand what they're looking for, do prospecting just for them.
The one thing that I think agents miss all the time, Julie, is that this is going to be a strategy that they use for every single listing.
Yes,
And if they
exactly.
try it and it doesn't work, they give up and say, "Oh, that didn't work," and then they're done with it. What you have to understand is you have to build this in to your conversation every single time, and it's a matter of ratios. Who is this going to work for? Who is this going to be a good fit for? Because we all know 96% of the time it is not going to be a fit. Not at all. That's
Yep.
okay. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. That just means that there's a small this is targeted to a small percent, but the fact that you can even talk about this and get them a cash offer to begin with
Mhm.
gets you in the door.
Yes,
It sets you
exactly.
apart.
Well,
That's it.
it just shows how much you know about the industry because you, after taking all this training, understand what an iBuyer is and how it's in the real estate market, which by the way, this is the future. So anyone who's
It
not
is.
getting that, that this cash offer stuff is not going away. It's only going to become more and more prevalent. So it's better that everyone starts to understand it now, put it into your business plan and your strategy now, and figure out how you can convert it. And we're going to be speaking with Julie Clark soon, and she's really good at that part. So we'll be
Yeah.
giving you guys more content, more videos about how to, take it even further. But today, the main point was just like, how do you get paid and how can you turn this into multiple listings, which is how you get paid.
Yeah. And for God's sakes, don't overthink it.
Yeah,
Don't, I mean, there's a lot of training. There's 6 hours of training to get you guys ready for this. And we know it's a lot. And we know it's like, oh my God, my head's going to explode. We get it. But, don't overthink this. I mean,
yeah,
this is simply a way to get in the door to get a
yep.
listing. If it
Ultimate
sells to an
listing.
express offers iBuyer, great. If it doesn't, great, right?
Work on your relationships though.
Work
Once
on your
you
relationships.
like the sellers can change their mind. We've had a couple of agents actually reach out to us because they presented this option, they got the offer, the owner was like, ooh, I don't like this amount. So the agent went into the platform and rejected the offer. But they contact us 6 months later and say, actually, the seller is interested in that same offer. What do I do? And then you reach out to Terry and I, and we'll try and figure out how
We
to get you
fix
back.
it.
Yep,
Yep. And it ended up as an express
happens.
offers transaction anyway. True
Don't be
story.
discouraged. Don't be discouraged.
Right. Well,
You make a good impression. Everything you do, make a good impression on people. Reputation is everything in real estate.
I think the discouragement comes from not understanding to begin with what this really is,
Right. And so
and what this
that's the
really
first
does.
expectation. Yep.
Yep, yep.
And for
So
all the agents
we're gonna
to
do
get it.
more videos on that, guys. I think we kind of covered the compensation part
Yeah.
of this. Um,
We'll add the
Julie,
article in our post so that you have like something to fall back on here.
there you go. You guys,
Thank you
Julie and
guys.
I work hard for you guys every single day,
Yep.
and we're always here for you. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye.